everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of The Road to Redemption. I'm sorry we're getting into it, but we gotta go. Jeremy's got a heart out.
I got a heart out.
And we last left off.
His hard one's out.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ. I'm getting into it, all right, boys?
I'm not even famous yet. You get me canceled.
When we last left off, our gentleman got word of some crazy happenings in Redemption via their different respective areas. We started first at Restuary with Kornoth Stoneater. After speaking with Kama, one of the guild leaders at Restuary, she got a message over her Arclight tablet that there had been a break-in at the farm and a artifact was stolen by 4 masked figures. So he was sent out by Kama as like sort of a test to see if he was ready to join their guild, to see if he could get any information and also even potentially recover the artifact. But then a little ways further than that, in the Underwood, we arrive with Pugnacious, who, after hearing a disturbance while tracking some game, follows it out and sees the sort of aftermath or like latter half of these events that had occurred. And these 4 masked individuals were riding atop giant beetles, killed one and injured the other of some guards that were sent out to pursue them from the farm itself. Pugnacious fired an arrow off at one of the masked assailants, and they didn't even bat an eye, it would seem. They kind of gave a hearty laugh that the whole forest got to indulge in, as Pugnacious found one of the pursuers from the farm was not actually dead. He was actually just injured, and his bike was fully like totaled. Upon retreating from the scene after the assailants fled deeper into the wilds, he stumbled across a small camp where we are introduced to our buddy Eldrick and a couple other crystal dragonborn from a village probably further into the never-ending darkness. Ned, if you know at home. There's a conversation, a little bit of kind of sharing eye to eye, kind of like, you good? You cool? Do we have to fight you? Situation. And they realize, no, neither of us is a threat. Some shit's going down. One of the Dragonborn, I think Zeknog, after they explained some shit about what they saw and the people, and they were wearing strange masks, Zeknog mentioned that he had only seen those symbols that were described by the masks in one other area, and it seemed to be tied to some darker, more mysterious and elusive magics that he doesn't know too much about, but he's heard rumor and hearsay that is no bueno. So they decide to accompany our boy Cress. I didn't have to think about that, or I'm looking at his name right now. Back to the farm, where they got information from Repositor Brennan. And by information, I mean they treated that man like shit for a good half hour. Before he finally gave them...
Definitely Kornoth did.
Before he finally gave them their mission, which is to seek out these people who had stolen the artifact, the gene pipe, retrieve it, or any information there or about it, and they would receive 10,000 gold now, and then 10,000 gold on their return with any pertinent information or whatever. So I think that's where we kind of left off. If you need any more details, or I'm a little spaced out, go ahead and check the other episode out, or listen to the recap.
Go ahead and listen to
one.
it. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm Tyler.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm going to introduce my players now since I didn't do that. Hello, Tyler, Matt, and Jeremy.
Hello.
And I'm sponsored by Sundrop. Sundrop. It's a drink that exists.
I'm sponsored by Old Fashions. Not a brand, just the drink.
I'm sponsored by JO H2O based lubricant.
I'm sponsored by Depression.
All right. Anyway, let's get into it.
When we last left off, Repositor Brennan gave you guys the information about your quest, and you were headed out to the exit to make your way from the city proper into the wilds to start pursuing these thieves. But on your way out, I mentioned, I don't know if this was in the last one, but I'll mention it again. You see Cress at one of the medical tents as they're kind of preparing and helping people out. He kind of waves you down before you leave out, and he's just like, "Hey, fellas, I just wanted to, I don't remember his voice, so don't come for me. I just wanted to thank you guys for helping me out back there. I really appreciate it, but be careful. This is some pretty serious stuff. I don't know what they needed that item for or why they chose to do what they did, but if they can do that as easy as they did, I'd be hard pressed to think they're going to make it easy on you to find them, or at the very least, bring them in for justice. So
Bugnacious gives him a warm and incredibly handsome smile and says to Cress, best of luck on your journeys.
He gives you a solemn nod as he kind of like, you can see there's like some sort of like, there's an inner battle happening because he's kind of like pissed that he got, his shit handed to him by these guys so easily. He kind of did basically nothing to help his friend, and there was nothing he could really do, even if he wanted to. It seems like he's kind of struggling with that. But seeing you all kind of come to his aid and are ready to sort of, step in where he couldn't, it kind of gives him a little bit of hope. Kind of gives him a little. He sort of looks at you all and he's like, I don't know if this is important, but on your way out through the wilds, see just here. And he takes the Arclight tablet from you all and he opens up the map portion of the thing and draws out a small trail with like his finger on the tablet of like where they stopped at nearing the wilds, which is like, you would know this, Bugnacious. You would know exactly the sort of area that they were in nearing the end of the underwood. So he's like drawing a path through the underwood to kind of avoid a bit of, issue and things, but not enough to like get you right on your way. But you should be able to follow this trail from here with clues and investigations or whatever. And he also puts a marker out a little further on the map. He's like, if you guys run into anything down in those lower levels, there is a small encampment out on the second level.
Like a guard encampment?
No, it's a couple of the people who left beforehand and left Redemption. They started their own sort of village out there. It's nothing as high tech and crazy as this, but I'm sure they'll have a good bed and food and potentially.
It's like a potential safe place.
A potential safe haven, exactly. And he's like, if you run into any issues further down, just know that can kind of be a base of operations, so you don't have to keep running back to the Grand Lift or trying to make your way through the wilds back to Redemption, because there's no telling what's out there.
Kornoth, who at this point I don't believe has ever met this man, just looks at him and goes, thank you for your efforts and living and trying real hard, failing, but trying, and you lived. So good job. Thank you for the information.
Yeah. Is this guy always a piece of shit?
Yeah, just ignore it. It's not worth it.
We're working on it.
That's wonderful, man. All the stuff I told him, I'm sure you heard because you were within earshot.
I thought
Maybe don't talk to
Chris.
people.
Appreciate you. Later.
Kornoth genuinely turns to his two new companions like, I thought that was rather not. Was that not?
Maybe don't mention someone's failures when they're actively giving you helpful information.
Listen, Kornoth, you're getting better. I'll give you that.
And Crest sort of kind of waves you off and hands the Arclight tablet back to you, Kornoth. And he sets you guys off on your way. And you guys now have a little bit of established sort of information in terms of where to kind of start your investigation. And
my first thought would have been to go back to where I had that interaction with them and see if I could find some sort of trail. I mean, I saw where like a general direction they
for sure
left.
Go ahead and
we're technically following the grass trail, correct?
Oh, true.
Yeah, the trail that
there was some stuff leading from the.
I think that was our first I guess goal was to go figure that out.
That's what we were following out. Is it
if you
still
would like
clear
to,
without
any
the
of you
glass?
boys could give me an investigation or a.
Well, so I will say if we have confirmed that the people I ran into was them, do we need to follow this trail rather than just go back to where I saw them when they left town?
It's up to you guys.
We might be able to gain information. Like it's possible they were headed somewhere else and they detoured.
No, that's a good point. Very good point.
So you said
will we have like any kind of advantage or anything since we've already found this trail?
Yeah, no, I would say you could roll with advantage in terms of an investigation if you're going to follow that trail. But if you're going to go by the stuff with Cress and Bugnacious,
with advantage, first roll was a nat 20.
That is incredible.
I'm going to roll again to see if I can get 2. I rolled 2 nat 20s.
Okay.
No fucking way.
All right. That's a bit.
I rolled a 5 and a 1.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so
hey, fuck your 5 and your 1, and fuck whatever you're rolling, Kornoth. Everybody
I didn't
shut
even
up.
bother rolling.
Everybody shut up. Matt just rolled 2 natural 20s. That's incredible. Okay, Eldrick, I think like your time in the wilds and stuff, living in the underwood, I think you just kind of have this intuition about the situation. And like now that you have sort of like all these different clues and the stuff on the Arclight map, I think it's easy for you to kind of take the information that both Bugnacious and Cress have given you and kind of plot out an idea. And so you don't even really wait for them. You know kind of where you're going. And you're like, just follow me. And like if they're gonna follow, they're gonna follow. And so you guys head your way into back into the underwood, but you're taking a new route that's like a cut across to get to the wilds even further. So is it following that grass, the magical grass? He immediately picks up on that on that trail of like the stuff, and you're noticing now as you're going down the pathways and heading back into the underwood that these different splotches where some of this stuff has landed, it's not just grass. There's now like crazy larger normal facing mushrooms in the underwood, which is really weird. It's very strange to see that kind of thing.
Like regular mushrooms, not like crazy.
Yeah, not hanging from the ceiling. They are growing up from the ground.
Wow. Kornoth wants to so I can cast detect magic as a ritual, so it doesn't like cost, but
before we do any of that, let me get stealth rolls from all three of you boys, because y'all are entering the wilds now.
That's fair. I don't think Kornoth is good at that, but we'll see.
And Bugnacious and Eldrick, I don't know how much time you would have spent outside of Restuary proper, Kornoth, but I know Bugnacious and Eldrick are fairly familiar with like not the entirety of the wilds, but like you guys know it a bit more than the average person, having lived in both the underwood and
me as nomadic, and definitely like I've never like made my home in the underwood per se. I would say I have a lot of experience in the wilds.
I think you guys both know it's not a game, even in these upper levels that are just beyond where it is. The average person could just slip up and things could go bad real fast.
So Kornoth basically was raised at Restuary, so he would have gone out as often as you think the average like child growing up in Restuary would have gone out, which I would personally imagine is not very much. I feel like they would really
a lot of the amenities
on, like,
and stuff that you're going to need as like a kid to be safe are in Restuary. Like the point of Restuary is like, we don't have to leave Restuary. You know?
Like I feel like with that kind of place, his growing up was basically a crap ton of different kinds of school and very little like actually going out and exploring.
Right. Okay.
I rolled a 12.
A 12 for stealth? Okay, great.
Which is honestly...
this is going to be a collective group stealth, so everybody give me their scores first.
Were you giving us advantage on that, Kyle?
Do you have something to give you your advantage?
No, I wouldn't. I just was wondering what that...
If you have like pass without a trace or something that you want to do, sure.
Do you have a favorite terrain?
I do have favorite terrain, but I don't think it gives me anything for like stealth.
For stealth, I have 6.
I also rolled poorly, and I got a 7.
Wow, Kornoth did the best? That's amazing.
Y'all are all good.
I have a plus 4, and I got a 7.
I think with the eagerness of trying to like catch up on this hot trail, you know, it's not necessarily in your thought process to be like, I
think Bugnacious is a little spooked, honestly.
Can I just...
I could definitely see that, especially with like the shit you witnessed that these two didn't like.
Yeah.
A little freaky.
So,
there was
also, like the
about
bugs, not like the extra large bugs. Like I think I'm just a little out of my element all of a sudden.
I'm gonna say lore wise, the reason Kornoth had the best stealth is sheerly out of coincidence, because you know how earlier he got on the ground to like examine the grass? He's basically crawling along the floor like the grass. Like he's not full, like he's crouching, so he's stealthy, but accidentally.
Like a mole or a truffle pig.
Oh my god.
You guys are all following behind Kornoth as these giant, because we didn't describe any of like you guys' get-ups or anything in the last episode, which I do apologize, but like Kornoth, you have these massive gauntlets on, and you're just kind of like
7 foot tall man.
Oh, we talked about all that.
Peeling yourself through the undergrowth and through these things, and you stop when you get upon like a puddle of that same sort of like brackish kind of teal liquid, and you notice these mushrooms growing out of the floor. And these don't look like anything native to the underwood either. These look like some sort of, again, similarly to how we talked about in the world building stuff, which would be like known amongst you all, like some sort of hybridized plant. It's not it's not the same as like a regular mushroom that would grow in this forest. It comes up to like about a stalk about yay tall, like as tall as like a human wrist to hand ratio. And the blooming of the bulb itself looks almost like a organ.
Oh, wow.
Like some sort of pulsating, like fleshy mass. You kind of almost notice the mushroom react a little bit to your motion near it as it kind of swells and pulses for a bit, and then as you come to a stop, it sort of also comes to a stop and starts to slowly deflate.
I want to examine this to see if this is kind of expected behavior within like what the gene pipe is capable of.
And I'll roll just a straight up nature check to like see if this is something natural as well.
Yeah, you can give me a nature check, and Jeremy, either give me a nature check or a. If you want to, I figured we could justify an Arcana.
Yeah, it was Arcana because I'm specifically asking about whether or not the gene pipe. So I got a 13 on whether or not this.
I got a 22.
Normal functioning.
I will say on a 22 and a 13.
I do suspect that it is not natural. Obviously,
Bugnacious, you 100% can tell from this that this is not. Not only is it not natural, it seems like it was purposefully planted. As you look along that trail, you can see a few more of them starting to break way through the earth, and a few of them that have grown slightly larger that are also kind of following a trail almost intentionally, it feels like.
Yeah.
And on your Arcana check, you can tell that this sort of thing is, it's not so much that it is the gene pipes doing as to why this is the way it is. You can tell though that these are not. These are sort of like it's like a natural, almost like, you know, those paint packets they put in stuff so you don't steal money from the bank and things.
Yes,
it's like it's almost as if these things are built to sort of like when they explode, it leaves a sort of mark or like a spores along whatever the creatures that fucked with it to let the other mushrooms in the area know, hey, there's something fucking with us.
Got it. Okay.
So I turn to the other two. Me, Tyler thinks differently, but I think Bugnacious would say to the other two with just my nature check, because I don't know the stuff you just told him for his Arcana. Do you guys, does this feel like someone's like marking a trail back to town, or like, do you think this might be for like leading someone back to town or something? It feels intentional. I don't know.
Well, here is what I can say. I'm fairly sure it will explode if we try to interact with it. And if we try to interact with it, every single one, which there will be more as we go along, will almost certainly be much more inclined to explode. So as much as I would love to kind of take this and return it just as a sample, I am going to resist that urge. If you would like it to blow up on you, I can't stop you. I don't think it'll hurt.
I definitely back away from it.
The best I can say is I don't think it'll hurt. I can't promise it won't stink, and I can't promise it'll come out easy.
I think with that. Yeah, I think with that, it's like are you guys keeping a tentative eye on the trail? Are you guys going to follow this trail of mushrooms at all? Or?
I was going to say I'm going to try to keep an eye out, like just kind of keep an eye on our surroundings and stuff.
Give me a perception check, Eldrick.
Okay.
And I don't know when you want to say this takes effect. At this point, now that we're not following like with crawling anymore, Kornoth is going to do the ritual cast of detect magic. So basically, every other 10 minutes, I'll have that detect magic because it takes 10 minutes to ritual cast. So
I get you.
Every other 10 minutes.
So again, you cast detect magic, and you see a sort of that glowing trail of fluid kind of passing down the area through the forest.
So when I focus on it, specific stuff I can discern. So what school of magic is this?
Yeah, I believe we covered this in the last one. It was transmutation. Right?
Transmutation, right?
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
And the mushrooms, or the pulsating thing.
The mushrooms don't give off they're not giving off a magical vibe other than the transmutation magic of the goo that they're in. It's
right.
They're just a mushroom. Mm-hmm. Not just a mushroom, but like
I got a 16 on that perception.
You got a 16.
Very nice.
I think as y'all are scanning the area, this is something you would know a bit more than. I guess maybe Bugnacious could also give me a perception check for this, but
Okay.
I was
you
just
see-
assuming since they were kind of inspecting.
I rolled a 2.
Oh,
okay, yeah, no, you're
We're
good.
gonna
I
have
think
a different
this
die.
fully makes sense to me in what it is for like story purposes. As they're all doing this, you notice one of the Underwood Forest spirits. They're kind of like a little sort of like cherubic little baby thing with like a spiral on its face, and it's just kind of watching you guys carefully, like hidden behind like one of the mushroom things. It's not doing anything, and if you can tell just from like its sort of demeanor that if you acknowledge it any more than you already have, it's gonna run off.
Yeah.
But like it's just watching,
Um,
carefully, sort of like turning its head playfully in the little spirals, watching everything, kind of looking at what you guys are looking at, and it just darts back off into the woods.
So I'm actually going to use one of my features. I'm going to use my psionic mind.
I'm
Essentially,
scared.
I'm just going to just in that creature's head, just
Fucking
say
melt his
we'll be-
brain.
No, well, I'll just kind of whisper. We'll be passing through shortly. Be one with the forest.
I think there's a brief pause,
Mm-hmm.
but they recognize your voice for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not with scary beetles and big man.
Wait,
Oh,
hold
it
on.
responds.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it can respond. I think.
Well, it might be
I think
able-
I could just.
I mean, you don't know what biz it has. It might have telepathy.
Yeah,
and
it
is
might
responding.
also
Oh
have
yeah. Okay.
telepathy.
Okay. That's fair.
I'm not
so
saying
yeah,
that
for
your spell
psionic
doesn't
mind.
allow it to do
yeah.
that. I think
Yeah.
you just hear back in its own way. Like it almost sounds
Yeah.
like the building
Almost
of
like-
tension or static
Mhm.
in the back of your head for a bit as it's like
Mhm.
trying to convert whatever language
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
thing would speak to your brain,
Yeah.
and you just kind of
It's
hear
kinda like
broken
a-
sort of
like
you
a-
not with bad
uh,
man.
Yeah. No.
Careful.
I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say back. We're on the hunt for them. So if you wouldn't mind keeping a lookout for us, that would be much appreciated.
Hunt is an interesting choice to use for a forest spirit.
I think you hear like what sounds like the rattling of like a
Mhm.
dried like seed as it shakes its
Mhm.
head. Careful. It just keeps repeating. Careful.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly, Tyler. Thank you so much for the foley. It's just careful, and it runs back off into the woods underneath the pile of moss.
So I'll continue to keep a lookout, but after hearing that like message, Eldrick, I did not just have to look over there to remember my name.
No, I get it. I fully get it, man. I get it.
Oh, I will.
Eldrick will just. What's that, Jeremy?
I will say, while we're kind of stopped here,
All this is happening. I
Mhm.
assume too that y'all would push forward after y'all had gotten that pertinent information.
Yeah.
well, if
Like
he
not
was
just
while he was,
standing in one spot for an hour.
yeah, I assumed he was talking to the one spirit, like in the initial
Mhm.
thing. While he
Mhm.
was, well, we keep seeing those mushrooms as we go, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, like in varying stages of development.
Kornoth is tracing, like Kornoth is drawing each of those. Like he whipped out he's got like a little pocket journal, and he is
Mhm.
illustrating and like doing 1, 2, like marking the order.
I think
he's
as you draw
encountering.
that, you're like kind of drawing it more. It looks almost like a heart or like a lung at the
Mhm.
very top of a mushroom stalk.
Mhm.
These varying like red and crimson sort of veins coming down to like a sort of like netted point near the bottom of it. And every time it expands, the net seems to expand around the meat of the mushroom itself. And
Yeah.
you
Kornoth
draw
is,
it in those two different stages. Like
Kornoth
the
is a
puffed up.
researcher first and foremost, and he thinks this
Mhm.
is interestingly enough.
What's your
interesting.
charisma? What's your charisma modifier?
My charisma
Yeah.
is bad because I'm a researcher.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think they're just very cute, endearing drawings. Then I don't think they're like super
Oh, it's
hyper
charisma for
detailed.
drawing.
I think like you get the information down for sure. And like
No,
you
I've
have,
got
like, all
I've
the,
got a
like,
10, so I guess that means I'm average at drawing.
yeah, no, yeah, it's not the best, it's not the worst. You're just kind of
Yeah.
like rough idea of what you've seen, which so it's
Yeah.
not bad. It's discernible by someone who would look in that book that that's
Yeah.
what you were really talking about. As you guys continue downward, following this trail, I would like one of you to roll me a d20, please.
I'll do it.
I
No,
was gonna
you
say
do it.
I would.
You
I
do
would
it.
probably
Yeah.
be more
You're taking
towards
lead.
the front.
Yeah, you're taking lead. For
Yeah.
sure.
You guys are just
what-
rolling to
just
see
a
what
flat
horrible
20?
thing we encounter.
Yeah, I know.
It's flat
Just a
20.
random
Yeah,
encounter.
yeah. No bonuses, no anything. Just roll me a d20.
Oh no! I don't know if it matters high or low, but that's a 1.
Oh my god.
Okay, no, that's good.
He might not have done it in that order.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might not have, but that's still a 1.
Yeah.
I think for now, you guys continue down the sort of trail heading towards things, and things seem to like it almost seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
The way this stuff is sort of laid out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eldrick, as we're kind of going deeper into the forest, like I'm trying to keep a visual lookout. Like I'm not trying to pay too much attention to like any like I'm not trying to investigate the trail. I'm just more on the lookout. And as we get deeper and deeper into the forest, you just start hearing a small like tapping on my longsword, and it kind of gets faster the closer, like the farther in we get. So my nerves are starting to go a little bit.
Yeah, I think you as you trace your fingers along the hilt of the longsword, you feel the notched and carved shapes of the totems that are in the hilts of each of the swords. But you didn't do this. Zeknog and the other Dragonborn lady did this
Ifani.
as a sort of like
Ifani,
Ifani. They both carved. Each sword has a different sort of art style to it, but they're all kind of the same sort of similar pattern. It starts with like the bear, then the eagle, then like each of the different ones for your varying things. And they did this as sort of like a warding thing as you stayed in the like it felt like a good luck charm kind of thing. There wasn't really too much actual arcana to it, but something about these things really bring you comfort, especially in like tense moments like this. And I think as you guys are headed through, you kind of finally start to make your way over a few, or down, I should say, into the wilds proper. And as you're taking a winding trail past a few of the areas, following this, what's seeming to be like fucking paint by numbers, sort of like it's there, trail to hopefully your quarry. You come across what looks like a sort of, the only way I can describe it is like a shed or a shack, some sort of small, just out of the blue sort of like structure. And you can see the trail ending, nearing a sort of like stable or like stockade kind of area beside this thing. Like it's like almost like it's like someone's homestead or like a small base of operations while operating in the wilds, like a cabin. Like you Boog Nations have seen some of these things in the Underwood
like a hunting
stuff.
hunting camp and stuff.
Yeah, like almost like a hunting lodge or like some sort of like just like a cabin in the woods.
By stockade, do you mean like a hitching post, like for horses or something like that?
I couldn't think of the exact words for it.
Yeah.
But you don't see anything hitched.
Is there any kind of magic coming off of it? I've got a range of 30 feet. Yeah, like
off
an
of
aura
the
range
shed.
Of 30 feet. Yeah.
I think.
Well, not just off the shed, just in general within this area.
No, for sure. There is a ping coming from within the shack. Or
is
the
it
cabin,
same energy as the gene pipe's been giving off?
100%. Okay. This is very similar energy to.
Can I check and see if it looks like there was something hitched to that post recently?
Sure. Give me an investigation.
Like for like tracks or something, that sort of thing. That's a 19.
Ooh, 19. Upon investigation, I think as you're like kind of looking over there, along one of the posts, you notice a small Kilroy beetle. And as you continue to look on the other post, you find a secondary, regular size as they come.
Like the way they're supposed to be.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I will stop everyone and just to inform them of what's going on. Like, I'm sure it's nothing. But these masked men that I encountered were astride upon to. Well, I mean, they were Kilroy beetles, but they were incredibly large. Like there's no way they ever should be. I don't understand like a lot about different types of magics, but
it's at this time as Kornoth is coming over and Eldrick to see what you've been investigating that Kornoth, you get that same ping, a much duller ping, but a similar transmutative ping on both of those beetles.
Okay. These appear to be previously enchanted or transmuted beetles. You two are woods people, yes? I think some woods people can talk to animals. Is that something either of you can do?
I think I can. I think I can.
It'd be
believe
terribly
I can
helpful.
as well, actually.
I don't know that kind of magic. That's weird outside Z magic, and that is not my field of expertise.
Oh gosh, let me see.
No disrespect.
definitely
I keep
can.
saying things in
Is
offending
that a
people. I
natural
don't mean
thing
to.
I can do? I can't remember if that's just a spell or if that's something I can just
Out
do.
of game, there's like speak with animals and plants or whatever spell. And
I have
we're
the
not
spell
sure
speak
shit
with
have it.
animals. What is it?
We'd get to talk to the beetles, and they'd be able to tell us any information they knew, as long as like we weren't a-holes to them. So I probably won't be speaking if we're being
Fair. I'm gonna do that. It's a good idea.
So I have speak with animals, but it looks like it's kind of limited to their intelligence level. So I don't know. I can try as well, but
I mean, I would think that this is an animal, and we can. Speak to it.
So it says that.
No, I'm gonna say you guys would have no issue if you use speak with animal to speak with an animal.
Yeah, no.
I don't think
you want to do it, or do you?
I think the dumber animal. I think the dumber the
do
animal is kind of like similar to that spirit, where it's like they have a harder time communicating detail.
Yeah, the intelligence thing has more to do with like comprehension. Like a beetle would not be able to grasp the concept of like the gene pipe, but it can be he put a thing over me and I was big, but it wouldn't be able to comprehend why.
Gotcha, I understand.
It would.
I'm gonna cast speak with animals on it. Little friend, we sense that you've been. You're tired. Is it
tired?
Have you been overworked?
Yes, hungry. Need to go back to Underwood, but
I think you look different than when I last saw you. Is this correct?
Scary men make purple lights big.
Are the scary men
aggressive
inside right now?
They were, but not anymore. There's something else in there.
They left you here?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean something else inside?
Big metal box. Same purple light. Not good.
I relay all of this to the other two.
I'll pick up like a little like leaf and like give it to the beetle.
I think he scurries onto the leaf, unsure of what you were trying to get it to do, and is just kind of sitting. Food. And he just looks at you, Bugnacious, again, and goes, "Tired.
Why don't you take a nap? Go rest, little friends."
Okay. And he sort of scurries off, and the other friend looks at you, tired. And scurries off.
I love them so much.
I tell the other two basically what they said. That the men aren't here, but they left something here.
Are there any
I think we should go
windows
inside.
to this? Are there any windows to this cabin?
Yeah.
Let's roll investigation.
Yeah,
see if
I
we
wanna
can hear
peer in
anything
a little
going
bit.
on inside, or
I would like to
something
peer
like that.
in.
Well, I only rolled an 8.
Oh, I rolled a 2.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Okay, perfect. I think as you guys are kind of investigating, there's a few of these like sort of dust covered and cobweb strewn windows. It looks older, but it's not that it hasn't been in use. It's just like no one's maintaining it, you know?
Yeah.
As you kind of peer in through one of the lower level windows, as the little beetle did describe, there is a faint purple hue nearing a back corner. You can't quite make out what that is, but it's similar to some of the purples that have been described in some of the other usage of spells and magic in this sort of scenario.
Would I be able to discern School of Magic? with the detect magic? Like, is it like if it's magical?
Shit, I've not even thought about what school of magic this would fall under. Give me 1 second. I think there's a vague air of the transmutation magic for sure, but there is something else intermingled with it that you've never encountered.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
It's a strange, a strange sort of situation that that it's giving off.
I would suggest we approach with caution, but I would suggest we approach.
I'm not going to be the one to take lead on that,
yeah.
but I'll follow.
I will examine it. And as he says that, he has this nice like wizard top, right, that he removed the sleeves of, and it is in pristine condition. And it's like what has his glasses and his little notebook and everything. He like takes off his backpack, sets it down, takes off the shirt to where he's just like nothing, like he's wearing pants and boots and gloves, but like no chest anything. And he just folds it and he sets it like gently inside of the pack, closes the pack, and then marches in, like opens the door and approaches the box.
Little Crumb, do you want to give him backup and I'll keep a watch?
I think the second you open the door,
Oh god.
Oh, listen, yeah.
I am going to need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Oh god. Come on, be dexterous.
Baby, nat 1. Let's go.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's
A
go.
wooden chair crashes into your chest.
Oh,
And you go
shit.
Alright.
tumbling out of
Well, hold
the
on. I
cabin's
should be able to
doorway.
resist. Come on,
go
Cornot's a
ahead
big,
and-
strong boy.
You did get the chance to resist. You failed your save.
Let me get this roll. Oh my!
Well, I failed to dodge it.
Yeah, so you don't get to
The
resist.
assailant got a natural 20. You take 10 damage as
Oh
a
my
chair
God.
is broken
Yeah.
over your rib cage.
I
Okay.
rush to his side. I don't like charge in for like whatever's attacking, but I do rush to Kornoth's side, and I assume I get a look in the room at what we're looking at.
Hold on. This is important for Cornot's character building. He's going to use Stone Endurance, which is a Goliath ability where basically, like, once per short rest, whenever they get hit, they can just say fuck you to the damage. I roll a d12 plus con.
I think as you sort of roll out of the door frame after being hit and Bugnacious runs up to you, you see stooping underneath the door with a very like sort of long gate as like he materializes into the space because this person was invisible.
Right.
Oh.
Fuck.
You
sounds
see
right.
the sleeveless masked figure from your earlier encounter,
Oh
Bugnacious.
man.
And he is
Is it the
looming-
one I shot at?
It is most definitely the one you shot at because
Oh,
you can
shit.
see a bandage around his tattooed arm and his sleeveless
All
robes
right.
as he is looming now over you and Kornoth. And he looks at you for a long time, Bugnacious, but then his attention is fully drawn to Kornoth.
So Kornoth flexed I actually rolled very badly, but I resisted 5 of the damage, so I only took 5.
The figure sort of seems almost shocked after what he did and is in sort of disbelief as a slight chuckle, not the evil chuckle you heard before, but a slight chuckle. Unfucking believable. And he reaches up and pulls his mask off, revealing his face for the first time. And you see before you another Goliath.
Oh fuck.
Yikes.
Oh shit.
Another Goliath is staring directly into your eyes, Kornoth, with a huge rictus grin of sort of like, how? But he knows you're also asking the same question, so
Yeah.
it's like making him giddy.
So
I cannot believe this.
what clan are you from?
My name is Johan Stone Eater.
I'm gonna interrupt because I'm not. I know this character's deal, and I'm not
Yeah.
interested in
Yeah,
necessarily like trying to make
Kornoth
friends.
puts
I think-
its hand out. Like, obviously you can ignore this, but Kornoth puts his hand out with the heavy gauntlet to like resist. Or like just
I will
not
say
resist,
that
but just
I
like
think
hold
his
your hand.
aggressive
Yeah.
posture sort of changes as you're sort of acknowledging him and he's acknowledging you. I don't think there's
Mhm.
you get the sense that there's no more hostility. It was just him sort of stopping whoever was coming into the room. But now there's an animosity in the air about it. He's sort of just like awestruck at seeing you, Corna.
Yeah. So
I think I will step back a little as Kornoth, but I am ready to act the moment this dude.
My hands are definitely on my swords.
Say that I ready in action, if you will.
I think he reaches a lanky hand out to your gauntleted hand.
well, I mean, he's a Goliath, so we're not lanky.
I
We're
don't
all
like that.
buff.
I don't like that.
He is
lanky.
He is like where you think your character is sort of like smaller in frame, maybe to like the actual Goliath. This guy is like wiry. He is tall.
Oh no, I have strength 18. I'm on the buffer side of the Goliaths.
He seems to be almost like it feels like a foot and a half taller than you, but that could also just be from the positions you're in at the moment with you laid on the ground and him above you. But very stooped, sort of like slack posture, long, spindly arms, long legs, not a lot of muscle, but like corded, sort of like lean muscle to him. Similar tattoos to the tattoos in your body, but like more.
That's what I was going to
more
ask.
sort of intricate geometric kind of like mandala effect to it, where it's like squares within squares within squares going down his arm. Like they almost look three-dimensional.
So out of curiosity, I'm pretty sure this was a Stone Eater thing, and it's possible he changed it. Stone Eaters keep track of their family lineage on their back, the number of sentient creatures they've killed on their right arm, and the number of sentient creatures they've killed on their right arm, and the number of non-sentient creatures they've killed on their left arm. What do his arms, like how high? Because you start at the wrist and go up.
No, for sure. Yeah, from his wrist up on his right arm, I think you said for sentient creatures.
Yes. Yeah. Like is it just filled?
It's like I said, that Mandela effect. It's just like boxes within boxes. It almost looks endless as it's curling up his forearm and stops about like midway past the elbow. And then his other arm, it's like lightly dressed with those same Mandela patterns, but not nearly as much.
Okay. Kornoth is just gonna go. We would not win this battle anyway. He is a well-experienced warrior.
I'm glad there is a smart one on your team, and not someone who, I don't know, wants to shoot someone they haven't even had a conversation with.
He has no way of knowing that was me. He has zero way of knowing that was me.
He definitely gets a vibe. He didn't see you, right?
Got.
He didn't observe you, but you remember the laughter that...
I give him nothing. What do I need to roll? I want to give him nothing. I want him to feel like, I might have shot. I want him to feel like I might have shot and missed there.
Yeah, give me a deception. It's contested against his.
Ooh, 21.
Oh,
that is a 20. You beat him by one. So like, there's like this air.
I
like
want him to be like, I might have overshot my hand there, and I'm just like,
So you definitely just gave it away.
No, I just like turn around. He says that, and I'm like, you talking to me? What?
Well, it would seem you are the only one with a bow.
That doesn't mean it. Lots of people have bows. I seem to recall winning this exchange.
Winning is an interesting way of looking at that.
No, I'm talking to Kyle.
Yeah, he's bitching at you.
I'm trying to give you the air that your roles don't matter right now. This guy knows a little bit more than what he's letting on.
This dude's level 20.
No, that is not the case at all.
He's fucking somewhere.
So this is a lot to take in.
I have many questions for you, but it must wait. I have a mission primarily. I am here to recover
the gene pipe.
Yes, to recover the gene pipe for the estuary.
That is not possible.
Why is it not possible?
It is no longer yours.
Please explain.
Come in. Come, please, just enter here. I will tell you as much as I can. Don't piss me off. No.
Don't touch.
You may be one of the last of my peoples. I will do
as I am
no
saying
harm.
the same for you as well, my friend. But all that and more, please enter cabin. Sorry about the chair. A bit on edge since they have been sending out a lot of patrols from farm to look for us. It is not us, it is just me here at the time being. But please, come in. And he invites you all into the cabin, and as you get in, there's like bare minimum furnishing. Literally like a fire pit in the center of the room, some benches, and then off in a back room you can see that faint purple glow coming from the back room. Wow.
Cornoth does not know how to respond. Like, he actually...
he's you can also tell that even though he's kind of trying to play up the air that he has the upper hand, he's a little thrown off.
Like, to be clear, Cornoth has actually forgot to pick up his bag and, like, shirt. He just walked in, like, shirtless, left his bag with, like, his folded... Unless someone else grabbed it, it's just still sitting outside.
I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up.
I think Bugnacious kind of, like, is sitting there in the awkward silence and just kind of feels like he has to cut the tension. I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna be honest, I don't love this.
I can understand for sure your lack of comfortability around someone who you definitely saw kill a man. Right? I know you.
Are you still talking to me?
Yes, you. I owe you something, but that comes later. My friend, family, it is good to see you. It is good to see another of my race. It has been such a long time, and I will be honest, the path I am on currently, not the best, but in pursuits of bringing back my people. But it seems as though I don't need to. You are here in the flesh.
I did not know anyone else survived the purge. I was young when it happened.
As was I.
I love that movie.
If you allow me,
sorry, wrong universe.
I will be doing as a cutting of chase. Me and my people did steal the artifact from the farm.
That I have surmised.
We did definitely cause a bit of ruckus. It was not intentional, but necessary. We have been all sort of drawn together for similar purpose, it would seem. My compatriots and I. They are not here anymore, but a benefactor of us offers us money and information as well as power in exchange for running errands, is how he puts it. And I was merely doing a job for a means to justify a sort of end. The deaths were unfortunate, but definitely necessary. Because if he is found out, then we have to go bye-bye. We no longer are fitting his paradigm. And he would kill me. He would kill my men.
Who is this man?
And he kind of looks at you for a second, kind of eyeing you up. You're the biggest one of the group for the most part, so he's just kind of like, yes, he is. He goes by the name Siegfried Berg. He used to be a part of Surface Dwellers when we all moved here from Surface, separated during mass exodus, and has been trying to start his own sort of coalition of like-minded peoples, deeper levels. He has no technology, no food, no resources, so he sends out our teams to go to the varying villages to do work he cannot do. Do work that is maybe less delicate, less needing of conspicuation or to hide these things. He offers many things, but the one thing I can assure you, brethren, He has a way of bringing our people back. He has a way of bringing his people back. All the people we have lost in this cataclysm can be restored if we help him.
Has he shown you that he can in fact bring your people back?
So y'all are clear. Kornoth has gone like completely quiet. Like he is just kind of
in spades, my friend.
Yeah,
in spades. Let me. What I am going to show you might shock you. And he goes off into the back room and wheels out, like almost with ease, the same gene pipe, but it is fully repaired and almost like a mobile state of it. Like it doesn't need to be attached to any other machinery. It seems to be functioning fine, but there is a dull purple hue coming from it, and you can see a shadow within the sort of glass of it. And he wheels it out and kind of sets it in the doorway. And he goes, "Look at this." And he wipes a hand along the glass. And when he does that, Bugnacious, you notice there is a figure floating in the gene pipe. And that figure is the same figure that this man presumably killed. Not in his clothes or robes or anything from the farm, but seemingly no longer dead, fully intact, no crushed skull, almost in a sleep-like state in what you can presume to be the gene pod. It doesn't look the same. It's not giving off that dull, like sort of like teal hue as a regular gene pipe. There is a profound purple glow coming from within the liquid that the body is being stored in.
The other two can see this too, correct? Obviously, they don't have like that frame.
Yeah,
of
no,
reference.
this is in the room. Like he's showing you all of this, but you pick up on who or who, for lack of the knowing the actual person.
I will not say anything.
Yeah,
I'll keep that to myself at the moment.
He was like, there was casualty in our pursuit of escape, and he assured me that that would not be a problem, and this is to be the case. This man has a second chance at life. I did not earn my tattoo because he is still on the plane of the living.
So it is the same. It is the same man as before, not just duplicate.
Yes,
this is
giving him a second chance. I have not personally
this is well
spoken
outside.
to him. Yes, this is a power I have never seen before. Incredible magic.
What did
just to say real quick, because I feel like it's not a bad idea for us to get a little frame of reference for how our characters are feeling about this. Bugnacious feels real bad about all this.
Yeah.
None of this feels good.
Yeah.
None of what he's saying is like affirming. None of what this guy is saying makes me feel like, oh, maybe like all of it feels bad. He's like, this bad guy's gonna bring my people back. He's like, yeah, sure he is. All right, dude.
Believing what you want.
Oh, Kornoth is fully sold.
I figured. That's why I felt like I needed to say.
You can give me an insight check if you like, but like, I'll tell you this: this man, even though you don't know him, feels 100% invested in the thing he's
like. He believes it.
He believes it, whether or not it's by means that are like kosher or moral to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
This man has shown him something that he can't replicate.
Yeah. I believe that he believes this, but I believe it stinks to high hell.
100%. And I think he's like, he's showing you all, but like he's really trying to like sort of focusing on you, and Kornoth, and he looks at you and your gauntlets and everything. He's like, you understand. You know what it is to need to move with the wheel of progress or be run over in nothing but the memory. If there is a chance, should we not take it?
What has it cost you so far? I must know. Everything you're saying is words I've wished I could hear my entire life, but I have to know what has it cost?
I think he's sort of like taken aback by that question a little bit. And he's like, kind of looks He looks down at his hands for a bit. I think the results outweigh whatever cost I have yet to pay. So far, it seems too good to be true. And yet, every time, this man, Siegfried, has shown me more and more reason to trust him. I have no one until I meet you. And he has given me so much. Like this. And he reaches and pulls a chain from around his neck, and you see a gem, like a shard of a gem at least, sort of housed in this metal thing. This is the only thing I have had to access my people.
Oh, is that a fragment of the gauntlet gem?
You would recognize that as a fragment of the gauntlet gem.
Okay, as soon as Kornoth sees that, he stands up, clearly angry, and he's like, "What have they done to our sacred gem?"
They did nothing to this. This is a result of surface dwellers making their monster machine. This is what happens. The corrupted magics have absorbed into this crystal, and they give me great power. But the cost is, I have no idea where the rest of the artifact is. But upon seeing you, I immediately recognize gauntlets. And you have none, so you are not my enemy. This man promises to get these things back and restore them tenfold. He's yet to ask for a payment. He's yet to show his price. But if he can do this with recently dead man, there's no telling what he could do if we were able to not only restore these gauntlets, but give him information from both of us about our tribe, about our village, where the grave sites are. He could bring them back. And I know you don't speak for your entire clan, Booglin, but he could restore the main hive as well. One of my compatriots that I run with, you might know of. He goes by Boogie.
Oh, god damn. Fuck.
He too has come to him for help, for guidance, for protection for his people, much like myself. And he's promised him great things. It is not trick. It is not lie. But for some reason, surface dwellers do not work with him. Booglin do not work with him. They don't want any part of what he has to offer, not even hearing him out. They claim dark magics. They claim strange things because they do not understand. I have seen firsthand with my eyes. Nothing bad has come from this. Yet, anyway. But something bad did come from attempts in the past of changing and redeeming oneself and doing these different things to try and make life easier. This man has the keys to our success, and they refuse him.
Kornoth has turned to the other two, his two compatriots, and very visibly seems to be standing in a way that kind of indicates he is more like on this guy's side than y'all. Just in like his, like not intentionally, just like a subtle posture. And he says, This man is a member of my tribe I thought long dead. One of the few lessons I learned from the atrocities that happened to my tribe is that an unwillingness to learn and grow will be the death of a civilization, no matter how strong its members are. You cannot endure without knowledge and progress. I have no ill will towards this benefactor. He clearly values life to some degree. He is regrowing the lives he took on this mission, which is admirable. More than not only impressive.
I think that not to cut you off,
No,
Yeah,
you're
I
good.
have something to say as well.
in the midst of this, give me a perception check, all three of you.
Yeah. I've been like
I have
clocking
something to
this.
say.
Yeah, I've been
as
clocking
well.
this like
I got a nat
like
20
thing. Oh my god. Holy shit. I got a 17. I've been clocking the gene pod like the whole time. Yeah.
I think as this is happening, you see like the body floating in the gene pod sort of twitch, just every now and then, like his eye or like his.
Kornoth is basically like he is selling you guys on meeting this benefactor.
Okay.
Listen, Kornoth, I don't know you super well. You seem like a smart guy, but how many shady secret benefactors that go around robbing civilizations and killing people to get their way? How many times out of 10 are they typically? Do they tend to be on the right side of history? Here, like, this could be an exception. I'll grant you that.
I would agree.
But
I would agree with you in normal circumstance. Until
so just because he's
until he showed me the fact that he is not killing. He's restoring the only victims of his crime to life.
Well, you're making a lot of assumptions. You're taking this man at his word simply because he's a Goliath.
I have eyes
I can
to see
that
he is regrowing the man.
Yeah, you have eyes to see that there is a person inside of his magical thing that he has captured. You're making a lot of assumptions.
They are not
based
my
off
prisoner.
No, I hear you.
I
hear what you're saying, and I mean no offense. Even you have to recognize that we are taking you at your word. I saw very shady dealings at the very least. Like, you're making a lot of assumptions, and I'm sorry, Kornoth, but you are very blinded by the fact that this is another Goliath. And I understand that. Trust me, no one understands that sort of instinct more than the Booglan. But you're making a lot of dangerous assumptions. You potentially putting yourself at risk, whether or not this individual intends us harm.
Perhaps I should show you instead. This is not prisoner. And he hits a button on the side of the thing. He is free to go with you if you so choose. And the fluid begins to slowly siphon down.
I want this man to come out as a tiny, like 6-inch tall man.
Oh my god.
As the fluid sort of like siphons down, there is like that distortion of like the shapes in a liquid sort of like conical vessel. Like it doesn't look like it, but like once it fades away, he just kind of looks slightly sort of like malnourished. Like he's like not quite like beefy as the gentleman you saw before, just like, and the door slides away from the gene pod as the gentleman in the pod stumbles forward onto his knees on the ground. And Johan just, see this? He coughs up some of that brackish pink kind of magenta fluid. And he looks up at all of you and he stands straight up. And Johan's like, this happened only 24 hours ago from when we have stolen and saved him. And he is already able to walk on his own. Speak. And the man just kind of looks at you. Hello. I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
What do you remember?
I remember crashing my bike, and I was chasing someone. And as he's saying that, like, you notice the twitching hasn't stopped. And like, he almost seems, as he's like trying to process, like almost getting frustrated.
Yeah. It might be. It's
a little panicked as his breath starts to. And he's. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
This is enough. Does this account match the man that he claims it does? And he turns to you two.
This is the man whose life I had taken. And as he says that, the man kind of looks up at him. And the twitching kind of turns into rippling across his skin.
Oh, God.
As you can like, in a Studio Ghibli movie when like a person touches something that's like not good, or like
Yeah.
there's this sort of like vibe that travels across his body as he like makes eye contact with Johan, and you see his eyes kind of glaze over, and the rippling turns into bubbles.
Oh God.
As his hyperventilating turns into sort of like angered breathing, as he's starting to remember. It seems like he's starting to figure it out, and he just goes, "You." And as he says that, his voice has like a deeper, almost like undertone to it. His once pale skin starts to go a mottled green and dull sort of black. His arms crack under this as he points his finger at Johan. Claws begin to form where his nails were. Nasty protrusions and sort of warts. His face elongates. You. And he rushes Johan.
That was pretty crazy how that denim ghost turned into a spooky monster and attacked that lanky guy. I wonder what's going to happen next. If you're wondering too, tune in next week to listen to Story Bazaar, Road to Redemption Part 3. I received your email saying that Terminator 2, Judgment Day isn't a documentary. I appreciate your comments and I will take this to heart. Wink.